So one thing that you're going to notice though with a narcissist is that they start arguments out of thin air. And everything could be going right and stuff like that. You could be watching a movie, you can be thinking that you're having a good time, whatever you're doing with them, and laughing and stuff like that. But then next thing you know, it's like they have to bring something up. It's like it's weird because it's like they get uncomfortable when things get comfortable, if that makes sense. Because you got to remember, it's like they have this negative emotions that's always like kicking off all the time. They're never satisfied. They're like, it's because they have like this turmoil within. And so when things start feeling comfortable, it becomes uncomfortable for them. And so what happens a lot of the times is that they start these small little arguments. And for instance, they'll start bringing things up like, something that you said bothered me the other day. And you're going to be like, what was it? And it's always going to be like playing, it's just like a game. It's always like, I don't want to talk about it. How about we'll just talk about it another day? And then you're like, no, like, let's talk about it now. It's like, you brought it up. So if it bothers you, tell me, like, if I did something wrong. And then next thing you know, it's like, they're still playing. They're like, no, but you did kind of say this, but never mind. And it's like you're trying to push like to solve the problem, but then you start realizing that they're bringing it up to kind of like, how to say, mess with you. And not only that, what you start to notice too is that when they start doing that, they just want to see if they're still relevant, like important, and if they get a reaction from you, then yes, they feel like they exist. They feel like they're important, and then they got you, And these small arguments start turning big because then they could be like, you know what? I'm done talking about this. The atmosphere changed in the room, and I just wanted to be honest with you, and now you did this. Now you made me hurt. And so they'll start blame shifting. They'll start creating these small little problems to turn big. And a lot of the things that they like to do too, because this is what they love to do, is withhold sex. And so they'll create an argument about that. And so what they will do is like, you know what? I just want to let you know that, I don't want to have it as much. I don't want to do this as much, as far as sex. And then you ask them, I was like, why? Did I do something wrong? Did I make you feel uncomfortable? And then they'll be like, no, it's not that. What if I just don't want to do it? Here's where they play the games, because it's like, okay, you don't want to do it for a reason. So tell me why. Coming from the victim, tell me why. And, like, if I made you feel comfortable, I want to know so I don't do it again. And then they go to like, no, it's not that you made me feel uncomfortable. It's just that I just don't want to do it. Why can't you accept that? And then from there, it's like, okay, then what's the real reason? Let me know. If I didn't make you feel uncomfortable, what's the real reason? And then they'll go back to like, I just don't want to do it. And now you're making me feel uncomfortable. Now you're making me feel like ashamed. And then they start these arguments, and it goes nowhere. And it makes you feel uncomfortable, but you're really trying to like figure out what's going on here. But then they keep you on edge because they love to keep you on edge, because it's a sense of control, and it's letting you know that they can take charge if they want to. And by withholding information, by starting these arguments, they kind of have you on edge, and they can manipulate you further, because now you're thinking. Now you're stuck thinking that you did something wrong even though you didn't. And narcissists are very good at that. And it could be anything else. It doesn't have to be the points that I made earlier. It could be anything. They just start arguments out of thin air when you think things are going right. And to be honest, they made the atmosphere changed, not you.